Hi, my name is Jody Hardy, and I have been in the alternative field since 1996. That is 30 years. Yes, I am aging myself drastically. And I was very lucky because I got to fall into a career path that I absolutely fell in love with from the get-go. So, with that experience, I have become a board certified hormonal coach, board certified drugless practitioner, and health and life coach. Now, before then, I was a massage therapist for 15 years. I was a holistic esthetician. I have my live cell analysis. And being a massage therapist here in Canada, we have to upgrade our education every 2 years. And that can be anything from nutrition to more modules underneath modules underneath our belt as a massage therapist, from cranial sacral therapy to emotional somatic release, myofascial, the list goes on. So I get to bring all of this education to you. And today, what we're going to be talking about is DNA testing for customized nutrition. Now, nutrition to me is not just food. Nutrition to me is environment, how we handle stress, what we put on our bodies, how we move. And today, what we're going to be talking about is the DNA test that I provide that actually shows you what movement is best for you, why you experience what you do, and then we're going to talk about what you can do about it. So, if you are interested in DNA testing, I want you to comment DNA testing, and we can book a call free of charge just to go over what that all entails. 20 minutes. No skin off of my nose, no skin off of yours. And we get a chance to get to know each other, see whether we vibe together, and see whether we would like to work together. All right, so with that, I am going to share my screen. And with the DNA testing, what it is this little kit here. It's like your typical standard DNA test. You swab each cheek, you put it out in the mail, and within a few short weeks, you have your test results. So one of the test results is your fitness report. Typically, you get 4 reports, which is your healthy nutrition made for you. Now, this will custom design a supplement, and we've already done a training on this. So if you want to view that training, type in nutrition. There is a healthy weight report that you get. There is a healthy sports report, and then there is a healthy skin report. So today we're going over the sport report. Share my screen. All right. Now, what you're seeing here is a bunch of colorful bubbles. What the green means is that both your mom and your dad were really good in this area. The yellow means either your mom or your dad struggled in this area. And the red means that both your parents did not do so well in this area and you inherited that from them. Now, it goes into, in the second column here, what each genetic SNP means. Endurance and muscle. We know what endurance is. Can you go for a long run? Do you have the ability to train yourself to go for a long run? Yes, you can. And you're going to build strength to help with that. So each of these categories give explanations. Lots of my clients look at these reports, and I will first and foremost say I am not a personal trainer. A personal trainer would be able to make this report make even more sense for you. But I have started doing some of the dirty work for you so that if you do decide to do the DNA testing, you have a starting point. All right. Now, where I want to focus on this report is the muscle soreness, the cramps, the potential for injury, the ligament and tendon injury. For this person, they are more at risk at overstretching, overdoing, and injury is more likely to happen to them when things do go a little bit sideways. So what this person has to do is actually focus on stability and functionality exercises in order to mitigate those injuries from happening. So that is standing on one leg, bending over with one leg, raising yourself up and down on your toes and not falling over, being able to get into a lunge and keep your stability. Now, I say this with a caveat because a lot of people will do as much of a lunge as they can. And then for this person, they risk pulling a ligament in their groin area or in their adductor area. Okay, so we want to avoid this. Less is more for those people to be able to build up strength first. Strength training is really important because these ligaments are being affected. All right, so then moving on, we see the endurance, and they're only got one set of genes that is not so good for endurance. So they're actually being supported really well. This means that with time, with consistency, they're able to build up a really high endurance rate so that they can go into those sprinting, so they can swim laps across those pools, so they can do that 5K marathon if that's the goal. And it's really fantastic. But again, their basis for foundation needs to be that ligament and tendon protection. What does this all mean? Nucleogenics has done a really good job about breaking it all down into sections. So it takes all of your endurance genes and decodes them so that you know exactly what you need to be focusing on. Okay. If you are avid gym or if you are just starting, this person is kind of a yellow. So what this means, and it tells you, it indicates that you have a moderate endurance response and should appropriately adjust your training program to accomplish your goals. This means doing standard impact training, standard durations, and using standard weights and standard repetitions. Less is more with this person to start off with in order to prevent injury. They can do the work, but it's going to take a little longer to get the results that they're looking for. Then they go into the power performance. So we all hear about the HIIT classes, the, get your heart rate up. Again, this person struggles here. So it's going to tell you that take a moderate approach. Now, if they were red, they were going to say, you know what, start off even slower. Less weight, higher reps would be really good here. And less about the HIIT classes, less about the interval training, and more about consistency. So less weight, higher reps are going to get a far better result here. And the inflammation response for them is going to be less because we know that inflammation causes pain, muscle soreness, and cramps. Okay, so those with chronic pain, if they end up being a yellow or a red, and this is my wheelhouse, okay, because all you know who have been following me know that I have lived with chronic pain since the car accident in 2018. When you have chronic pain, the potential to have more soreness and cramps and longer recovery time is greater if you are a yellow or a red. If you have a chronic injury, if you have increased body pain, and you're a yellow here, I want you to treat yourself as a red. The reason for this is because there's no sense in going to the gym or doing that extra long walk or that extra long hike and then having to hold down the couch. And this is really important for women who are in hormonal fluctuation and are experiencing more body pain as it is. Hormones play a crucial role. What your DNA testing is it shows you your baseline. Your baseline of your genetics never change because they're your genetics. DNA is from the beginning of your time. So from cell number 1 to the day that you are no more, this will never change. So chronic injury, hormonal fluctuations will always have an impact on what your DNA is already expressing. And we need to be able to support and adjust in order to maintain our abilities to be able to move and age gracefully. Muscle mass and function. For some people, they can build muscle like nobody's business. Other people are like, holy crap, what do I do? This is why. If you're a yellow or red, it's going to take longer to build that muscle that you are wanting to build. If you are a red, consistency is going to be huge. Even when you see that you're having no results, it's going to take longer, but your consistency is going to pay off. Exercise intolerance. Now, a lot of people, the joke is, I'm allergic to exercise. Very, very valid. Okay. So what this is exercise ability. All right. Legit, there are some people that don't tolerate movement well. In that case, starting off doing less is a lot better, building up that endurance, building up that stamina versus trying to go hard. I know, like for me, when I started going to the gym because my leg was finally strong enough again, I wasn't going to go hit hard because then I was going to need 3 or 4 days of recovery on the couch, hit the pool, do some laps, do some backstrokes. It doesn't all have to be intense. As long as you're showing up for yourself and you're starting to do something, that's what matters here. Delayed recovery time. Now, this is cruel. We all hear about lactic acid buildup, okay? What we people with yellow or red will have a longer recovery time. So this person is yellow pretty much across the board, okay? This person definitely needs to take things slower, will take longer to start seeing results, but they will see results once they stay consistent, all right? Traction builds traction. Being able to give yourself the adequate rest time in between your workouts is great. There are some days where I'm like, let's go every day. There's other days where it's every other day. And then like this week, because I am in my luteal phase, I'm actually starting to get weaker. So going every 3 days is more beneficial for me, and doing light workouts versus the heavyweight ones is more beneficial. So this is where it's a little bit different for women than men, is when we sync our movement with our cycle, we actually get more traction faster. That is our sport report. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic day.